Greetings! This is Mindset Part 2. I had discovered a book yesterday that I was listening to as I was gardening, and it was called Mindset by Benjamin Smith. And I listened to it as an audiobook on Audible 3 times. And so I did a single teaching video yesterday about the start of the concepts in that book, because I'm hoping to use this with students at school. So today I'm back with a second installation. This time is this next concept in the book, which is the idea of developing a positive thought process. So you want to liberate your mind with your subconscious, right? We talked about that idea of subconscious yesterday, that your mind is in control of the everyday things. Whether you get mad at somebody in traffic, whether you respond to them in a way that they responded to you. All of those things are your conscious mind. But your subconscious mind is what's controlling all of the things underneath that. It's where everything is stored. Now, in order to control your subconscious mind, you want to begin by establishing a positive thought process, because that's going to enhance your thinking pattern to focus on positive and productive things. So, you are going to do this using 4 steps. The first is to identify negative thought patterns. Now, there are 6 negative thought patterns, and as you listen to these, some of these you may identify with personally and go, that's definitely me. Or it may be like me, and I kind of looked at myself and went, yep, I do a lot of these. In fact, I think I do almost all of them. So, first one is called catastrophizing. That means thinking that the worst is going to happen in any situation. So if you get a fever, instead of looking at this and going, okay, it's just a little fever, you are running to the doctor because you're convinced that you have pneumonia and you're going to need to be put on a respirator, otherwise you're going to die. That's catastrophizing. Next one's mind reading. That's when you think you know what others are thinking. As a middle school teacher, I see my students doing this a lot. They're convinced that they know what the teacher thinks about them, what their classmates think about them. Or as an adult, often we will assume that our boss doesn't like us, and therefore we're going to believe that we might never get recognized for our work or get that promotion that we believe we deserve. Third one is called overgeneralizing. That means you're making a decision about every situation based on one incident. For example, if you forget to bring your homework to school, you would be saying, okay, I am never going to pass this class. I am never going to be a good student. I am never going to get good grades. I'm never going to go into college that I want to get into. But all you did was forget your homework once. That's making overgeneralizations based on what you had in one situation. Another way of a negative thought pattern is black and white thinking. You are looking at a situation and you're thinking it's only one way or the other. For example, if you think about your boss, my boss is a great man, or my boss is a horrible person. You're not thinking, well, my boss could be an amazing person, but have some flaws. Or my boss is not a very good person at all, but he's got a couple of good qualities. One of those is probably a little bit closer to reality versus he's a horrible person or he's an amazing person. The next one is critical self-talk. It's telling yourself that you can't do something, or you're highlighting your flaws or your mistakes all the time. That's thinking, I'm a loser, I'm a failure, I'm never going to be good at this. 6th way, predicting your own future. If you think that you're definitely going to fail the test before you ever take it, that's predicting your own future. Now, which of these negative thought patterns is affecting your mindset? A good way to figure this out is by journaling. You can try journaling what you are doing, when that negative thought pattern happens, to see if you can figure out what the actual underlying thought pattern is that's causing that persistent negative thinking. So after you've identified and you're eliminating those negative thought patterns, you have to work on replacing those negative words with positive ones. You can begin by adding simple positive words. If you're always saying, I am never going to get this done, say, I am going to get this done, but it may take some time. Okay? Or I'm never going to pass the test, to, I have some skills and I may struggle on this, but I can do a lot of the questions. Okay? So you want to jot down those negative words if you're journaling this and replace those negative words like I can't with I can try or I can. Third thing is to practice positive self-talk and positive affirmations. You're going to constantly tell yourself good and productive things, because if that's what's putting in your mind, that is what's going to carry forward into your daily thinking. Okay? So you're going to replace something like, I always make mistakes, to, I may not be able to do this right, but I can learn. Or I'm not good at this job becomes, I may not be the best at this job, but I'm getting better. So watch out though for things like I'm sure, I already know, I must. Those are all things that set up a burden of expectation on yourself. So you have to be careful about using words like that, because you can cause doubt within yourself from using them. So it's just something to consider as you're setting up that positive self-talk. You just want to keep feeding your mind with positivity. Fourth strategy is to add the yet, because adding the yet adds possibility. That's your growth mindset, and we talk about this a lot in schools and in classrooms lately. And it means that you're capable of improving yourself. For example, if you say, I cannot paint, it's very different than saying, I cannot paint yet. It implies that you have the ability to learn this skill later on. Remember, you are in control of what's in your head. You can take these negative things, look at them, identify them, and not give them any more space in your head, or you can choose to leave them in there. However, if your goal is to get in control of your subconscious mind and use your subconscious mind to really improve your life overall, then you have to be willing to commit to developing that positive thought process. So, think about how you are going to do that and how you are going to accomplish that. And start for yourself with some small steps. Remember, we began first by identifying negative thought patterns. Those negative thought patterns included catastrophizing, mind reading, overgeneralizing, black and white thinking, critical self-talk, and predicting your future. After we identified those negative thought patterns, we said that you're going to want to replace negative words with positive ones, practice positive self-talk, and add the yet to your sentences. That's the end of today's video on mindset.